Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For the first topic is I'm introducing you with the Nobel Prize winner for peace. Uh, so I think you already know. So for this year, Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to. For this year, Nobel Peace Prize for 2024 was awarded to Japanese organization, not an individual but an organization. The name of that organization is Nihon Hidankyo. Nihon Hidankyo. So this is the organization which has received Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Peace Prize for the year 2024. Okay, so you can remember one or two points about this organization. Okay, so this is the organization which has put lot of efforts for the need of disarmament and for bringing global peace. You know that yeah, mainly like their efforts, you can remember this, for their efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons. So you know that by the end of the Second World War, Japan had received 2 nuclear bombs from USA, right? You know that, right? So on August 6, 1945, and second one was around I think August 9, 1945. So on August 6, 1945, USA has dropped a nuclear bomb for the first time with the name Little Boy. What does this Little Boy mean? It is the nuclear bomb which has been dropped on Hiroshima on August 6. And on August 9, I mean, this nuclear bomb itself had caused huge devastation and had killed thousands of people. I think more than 70,000, more than 1 lakh people have died with this on August 6 bombing on Japan. Similarly, on August 6, another nuclear bomb with the name Fat Man has been dropped on Japan on another place called Nagasaki, which has again taken away thousands of lives, more than 40-50,000 lives. So roughly around 1,50,000 people died in just few days. So on August 15, 1945, the Japan surrendered. The Japanese emperor with the name Hirohito, whose name is Hirohito, announced his surrender to US. Okay, and he declared peace. Okay, so Japan surrendered on August 15, and that declared end of the war. Okay, and thereafter, there are many survivors of this. There are many survivors of this bombings. Okay, those survivors have formed an organization called Nihon Hindakya, that the present organization which has received Nobel Prize. These contains members as people of survivors of those bombings. Okay. uh, yeah. And they have worked very hard and for the disarmament, and Japan did not have a military altogether, like no effective military, because they were not in support of any sort of violence. So because of their efforts, 2024 Nuclear Peace Prize has been awarded. And one more term is there called Hibakushu. Hibakushu is Hibakushu literally translates to bomb survivors, bomb affected people, bomb affected people, and the bomb survivors. Okay, so the Hibakushis are members of this Nihon Hindakyu. Hibakushu literally means bomb affected people and those who have survived uh, these bombings, and these are the people who have spearheaded the global movement to end nuclear weapons. Their main effort is to end all the nuclear weapons. Getting me? Hello, Vidira. Have understood this first article? So it's small article. You just have to know that this Nihan Hindakyu is not an individual but an organization. An organization has received Nobel Peace Prize. So Nobel Peace Prize is given by Norwegian Academy, correct? Norwegian Nobel Academy, not Sweden, not Swedish. Norwegian Nobel Academy. So this Nobel Peace Prize is the only award which is given by Norway, right? Are you there? Are you guys all of you are here? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understood this? Have
Yes,
this
sir.
little bit of background story also in world history. Will again read this. Yeah, just see how like you can use this in your essays also. Okay, these kinds of stories. What happened? In essays, how can you use this? You can take it as any inspiring story, despite the loss, despite the fact that that country has lost thousands or lakhs together of lives. Few people went on to form a committee and win Nobel Prize. Is it not inspiring? They struggled for peace in the world, despite the fact that they are the one who have received ultimate violence due to the deadliest bomb that was tested for the first time on mankind. Okay. So next topic I'm taking up is regarding rare diseases. Rare diseases. So what has happened is recently few people went to Delhi High Court. Okay. Recent few people have filed a petition in Delhi High Court seeking free treatment for rare diseases. Free treatment for rare diseases. Okay. So you should know what are rare diseases and recent Delhi High Court judgments regarding rare diseases. It becomes important for your exam on many fronts. Okay, the case name was this Master Arnesh Shah versus Union of India. Master Arnesh Shah versus Union of India, and another case. So this is the name of the case. Okay, so this is regarding rare diseases. So first of all, we can study what is a rare disease. Do anybody here have any idea regarding what is a rare disease? Rare disease andre, as the name suggests, you can just guess is right. ಹೇಳಿ ರೇರ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ. ರೇರ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? So rare disease andre which rarely occurs, right? But there is one exact date number based on that we can say that's a rare disease. So rare diseases are those conditions that affect very small percentage of population, very small percent of population. It is like roughly less than one in 2000 individuals, less than one in 2000 individuals. So that means it's not so common. Okay, so any disease which is rare, which affects very less number of people, such a disease can be called as rare diseases, right? And because it's a rare disease, the treatment options are also less, even the diagnosis options, and the extensive availability of medicines, even research, etc. And overall attention towards the disease is very less. So that is why it becomes very difficult for those people with rare diseases to receive treatment. Correct. It is dangerous for that region because they are mostly ignored. Correct, because of the rarity. Most popular diseases which are common, extensive research would have been done, and the treatment options are also varied, so people can easily get treated. But in case of rare diseases, it's difficult to get the treatment. Diagnosis options are also very less. Correct. For examples, like diseases like cystic fibrosis, you can there are many examples, and I can give you a few examples. Cystic fibrosis, uh, Huntington's disease, for example, or you can take example of muscular dystrophy. And okay, so these are some of the examples that I'm mentioning here for rare diseases. Have you understood what is a rare disease? Have you understood what is a rare disease, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So what was the case recently? Around 100 petitions had been filed in Delhi High Court seeking free treatment for children with rare disease. Okay. Under that, High Court has given a judgment, and that judgment becomes important for us because in the judgments, High Court has observed that this right to health, the children need to receive free treatment for rare diseases, because right to health in this High Court, it upheld that right to health is part of Article 21. So what is Article 21? Article 21 is right to life and personal liberty. So this right to life also includes right to health. Okay, so remember this, right to health is part of Article 21 as per this recent High Court judgments. Okay. Not only this, so this is the first observation that the High Court has made. Another guideline also the Delhi High Court has issued to the government. It has asked the Indian government, to establish one fund called the National Rare Disease Fund. National Rare Disease Fund, with a budgeted outlay of around 974 crore or something, whatever. So it has asked the government to establish this National Rare Disease Fund. Okay, so this fund will be funded by CSR. CSR means what? Corporate? Really? CSR andre ಏನು?
Corporate social
Social
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yes, corporate social responsibility. Okay, so now the government has to, as per this High Court guidelines or orders, Indian government has to set up National Rare Disease Fund, to mainly with the objective of reducing the prices and increasing the accessibility to the treatments of rare diseases. Because for rare diseases, the main important problem is the accessibility and affordability of the diseases. Many of the treatments available for these rare diseases are very costly, which common people cannot afford, right? So the government has to take these measures, right? And for that, government need to establish a fund, and which should be opened for donations from CSRs. Okay, we can discuss about CSR also in the same discussion. But let us finish our rare disease discussions. And government wants to establish one national rare disease cell, like a body, which will oversee the implementation of this fund. And this fund shall be administered by National uh, Rare Disease Cell. Okay. So which should be which should consist of officers from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and this will oversee the fund, how to spend, where to spend, and how what are the who are the beneficiaries, and all. All this should be decided with this. To manage this fund, we should establish one cell. Apart from this, the Delhi High Court has also advised to establish a national rare disease information portal also. National uh, rare disease information portal. Information portal. This this portal shall include the information and details of all the patients. It should be like patients registry, which who are required, who are in need of the treatment, right? So such a portal should also be established to register the patients who require free treatment. Okay, and also this it has also directed that the Union government shall direct DCG and CDSO, some offices of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, to establish dedicated fast track approval process for drugs. New drugs for the treatment of rare diseases should be shall be approved quickly, right? ಹೊಸ ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಬಾಡಿಗಳ್ಯಾರು DCGI and CDSU. So these are two important offices under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, so they need to set up what? A dedicated fast track approval process. Fast track approval process. Okay, so these are some of the important guidelines issued by Delhi High Court in recent judgment regarding rare diseases. What are they? First of all, most importantly, it has recognized that right to health is a fundamental right. It's a fundamental right under Article 21. So government shall establish a fund called NRDF, National Rare Disease Fund, which should be managed by National Rare Disease Cell. And donations should be given from donations should be allowed to be given from this corporate social responsibility fund. Okay. And so these are some of the observations we have had on the recent judgments of High Court of Delhi. Now you also know what is a rare disease. Rare diseases, like very rare, right? Which are very debilitating, which are lifelong disorders usually, whose prevalence is less than 1 in 2,000 populations. And you also have the examples. Have you understood this thing, students?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now in the same discussion, as we have come up with the CSR, let us take an opportunity to study out this CSR also a little bit in short. Okay. Few things they can ask in exam regarding CSR, if at all they ask. If they ask, so CSR, what is the CSR? Corporate social responsibility, right? So what is this basically? Anybody? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? CSR ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Corporate companies has to spend their 2% of profit or the social causes.
Yes, Yes, exactly. It's like, these corporates are utilizing resources from our country, correct? And they're also causing some damage to our environment for to earn their profits, correct? Correct, Alva? So they are utilizing our, resources, natural resources, and also human resources, and they're earning profits. So it becomes bit of their responsibility to also to give back something, whatever they're earning, or ಎಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಗೆ ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ we can say they have to spend some amount of their profits, right, as a compensation of what they're utilizing from us, right? So that's the concept. It's like it talks about the company's commitment to operate in a sustainable manner, in a socially responsible manner, right? So whereby they contribute positively to the society and to the environment, or to the employees, or to the customers, right? So that is the concept. Understanding this concept artha aita? So we can get technical details, but first you should understand the concept. It's right. The concept is clear. So in India, this corporate social responsibility is a legal responsibility. It is not an ethical responsibility. It's of course ethical responsibility, but it's not just ethical. Now it's a, apart from ethical, it's also legal responsibility. That means the companies must invest some of their profits in certain sectors like environment and society, right? It's a legal responsibility. That means it has been included in some act of our constitution. Sorry, it has been included in some acts of the parliament. Okay, what is that act? Yav act alli idana include madidara regarding corporates? Which act is there to govern the affairs of the corporates? We have Companies Act of yav year 2013. Companies Act 2013. Under this Companies Act 2013, there is clause 135. Clause 135. The clause 135, they have included the concept of CSR. Okay. So according to this clause 135 under Companies Act of 2013, technically those companies whose annual turnover whose annual turnover see, not all ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಂಡೇಟರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. There are certain companies whose profit is higher, okay, and whose turnover, whose net worth is higher. Only such companies are required to spend some part of their profit for as a charity or donation in different sectors, right? Not all companies. So this criteria which companies shall invest, that has been given in clause 135. Okay, so those companies whose annual turnover is more than 1000 crore. Next is or. Remember or, not and. Or. So if annual turnover is 1000 crore, then also they are responsible. They have to invest some part of their profit. Next, if the net worth is more than 500 rupees 500 crore. Next, or profit. Net profit is more than rupees 5 crore. So remember these three criteria based on which the CSR is mandated to the companies. Any company which does not fulfill these criteria may not be required to spend part of their profit for society, right? Understood this? But these companies whose turnover is more than 1000 crore, net worth is more than 500 crore, and net profit is more than 5 crore, they're required, they must invest some part of their profit, uh, as corporate social responsibility. Okay, for that the companies have to set up one, every such companies, all those companies who have this, who fall under this category, they should set up a CSR committee. They should set up a CSR committee, and this is the committee which will decide in what sectors they need to invest. Okay, and how much they should invest. For that also there is a clear guideline, a clear mandate that they should spend at least 2%. They should spend how much as part of CSR? At least 2% of their 2% of their average net profit. Average net profit in previous 3 years. In previous 3 years. That means whatever the profit they have had in the last 3 years. Okay, in the last 3 years, whatever the profit they've had, out of that total profit in last 3 years, they should invest 2%, at least 2% as CSR activities. Okay. Understood these points? Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there is something called Schedule 7 under this. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ Schedule 7 ಇದೆ. So the Schedule 7 actually describes what are all the areas where they have to invest. Must, like for example, they can invest in eradicating hunger, extreme hunger eradication madake they can invest, hunger and poverty, and they can invest in promotion of education, gender equality, and women empowerment. Okay, and they can invest in diseases like mainly HIV and other diseases. Okay, and now recently we can also add rare diseases to this list. Now they can donate for rare diseases also, right? That is what we have seen in the judgment, right? And also it can also contribute to other funds like Prime Minister National Relief Fund, and other funds that the government sets up for time being, for relief, and for also for welfare of SCs and STs and other backward classes, etc. So these are the areas where CSR activities are funded. Getting me? Have you understood this entire concept of what is a rare disease? Starting from what is a rare disease, the definition and the recent High Court judgments, which among the most important one is this right to health is a fundamental right as part of Article 21, and this suggestions to like order or guidelines to establish these funds which should be funded by CSR, and we have linked it to CSR also. Any doubts in this? Honest students, any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, next we can take up something called a small, like there was one article in Hindu newspaper, but we will not read entire article, but we will see one process called Haber-Bosch process. Haber-Bosch process. What is this about? This was given in Hindu newspaper. Can you see my screen also? Means I've just opened a newspaper. How many of you can see this? Can you see the newspaper that I'm opening?
No, sir.
In my device?
No, sir.
Oh, it's not visible. Okay. So only this screen is visible that on Zoom, right? Not others. Okay. So actually what happened is like there was an article in Hindu newspaper that was talking about Haber-Bosch process. It has changed the world. How it has changed the world. How this process has changed the world. So at least you should know what is this Haber-Bosch process, so that you can further read on that if you want. It's a method which allowed. I'll just write it down. So can you see the whiteboard now?
Yes, sir.
See, the process is Haber-Bosch process. So what is this? See, Haber and Bosch, these are the names of two scientists which have kind of invented this process. Okay. So this is a chemical reaction. It's a chemical reaction that produces ammonia. Ammonia is NH3, right? So Haber-Bosch process, in exam, if they just give you what is Haber-Bosch process, you just have to tell that it's a chemical process, chemical reaction to synthesize, to produce what? Ammonia. Correct. And ammonia is used in where? Ammonia is used in fertilizers mainly. Fertilizers alli urea anta ide alva, and nitrogen based fertilizers, basically they are composed of ammonia only. Nitrogen based fertilizer alli enirutte, ammonia irutte. So in fertilizer manufacturing industries, ammonia is essential, right? So the process of synthesis of ammonia is called as Haber-Bosch process. Understood this? Okay. Now, why it is a breakthrough is, it's like, see, in atmosphere we have a lot of nitrogen. In atmosphere we have highest element of the atmosphere is nitrogen, right? Oxygen and other carbon dioxide, argon, carbon dioxide, and others are the other gases we have. So nitrogen is in abundant quantity. This is the highest, most abundant gas that we have in the atmosphere. And there is also hydrogen in the atmosphere. But nitrogen does not easily react with hydrogen, right? So nitrogen can react with oxygen or hydrogen only under certain conditions, when there is very high temperature, right? So for ammonia, which is NH3, the reaction should happen between nitrogen and hydrogen. Right? So without the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen, this cannot happen, and this reaction is not easy. Okay. So Haber and Bosch, especially Haber, is the first person who has shown that nitrogen and hydrogen can be can be made to react even under not so extreme temperatures. Even in moderately high temperature also, hydrogen and nitrogen can be made to react with each other to produce NH3. Okay, for that there is a complicated technical process that you need not get into. So what you have to know is Haber-Bosch process, where nitrogen and hydrogen are made to react to produce this ammonia or NH3. Okay. And one more point in this process is, most importantly, this reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen can happen only in the presence of a catalyst that is iron based. So in the presence of iron based catalyst. Okay, this is what is discovered by Haber. Haber discovered that only in the presence of iron based catalyst under moderately high temperature, not like extreme high temperature, also this can be synthesized. Are you following me? What is this Haber Bosch process? Really,
Yes,
what is
sir.
Haber process?
Production of ammonia from the nitrogen and hydrogen in
Okay, which catalyst they use?
iron-based catalyst, sir.
Iron catalyst, yeah, right. So it's like
Sir,
fixing.
sir,
Yeah.
ಇದು ಅವರು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಕ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಮೋನಿಯಾನ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಸರ್.
Exactly. They fix the atmospheric. This is called nitrogen fixation only. But natural ಆಗಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. It's artificial ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. It's like nitrogen fixation.
ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ಕ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್ ಅವಾಗ?
Atmospheric nitrogen imbalance ಅಂದ್ರೆ like do you think what do you
ಅದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೈಟ್ರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
see nitrogen is the most abundant. ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್? 78% of our atmosphere ಅಲ್ಲಿ
78%.
nitrogen ಇದೆ. Okay, so it's most abundant. How do you think like it's extremely high level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, correct ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yes,
So
sir.
ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಉಸಿರಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಹಂಗೆ ಇದು. So okay, so there would be no imbalance. Okay, and this is considered as one of the most important technological advances in 20th century, because this Haber is the first person who has shown that nitrogen and hydrogen can be combined, and nitrogen can be fixed artificially in our industries. Okay, so they use it under extremely high temperature. This can be fixed under extremely high pressure and moderately high temperature. Okay, and this process can be used for mass production of fertilizers. So in fertilizer industry, which process we use? ಯಾವ process ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹೇಬರ್ ಬಾಸ್ process. Okay, yeah, you can read that article further. Okay, so we can take up the next topic. So you cannot see the screen other than this. I wanted to show you one map work. Okay, how to do it? So this lake, Ular Lake, was in news. So tell me, where is this Ular Lake? Ular Lake ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಅಂತ? ಕೇಳೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್? ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫೇಮಸ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಥಿಂಕ್ ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ.
ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಜಮ್ಮು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಇದೆ. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಬೆಳೀತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ಒಂದು ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಚೆಸ್ಟ್ನಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಚೆಸ್ಟ್ನಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಲೋಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. So they are growing it around Ular Lake, and for various reasons this Ular Lake is in use. So I wanted to do map work, but you cannot see here. Okay, let me try. So there is this Indus River, right? Indus River in ಹೋಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಸಿಂಧು ನದಿ. There is one tributary of Indus River which is originating at Vijayanagar here. What is the name of that river which originates in Vijayanagar? Tributary of Indus. ಇದು Indus River. Vijayanagar ಇಂದ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ರಿವರ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಜೇಲಂ. ನೋಡಿ, ಜೇಲಂ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೀರ್ ಪಂಜಲ್ ರೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ಇದನ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು ದ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ ಕಣಿವೆ, ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಶ್ರೀನಗರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಯಿಂದ ರಿವರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಈ ರಿವರ್ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಜೇಲಂ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಲೇಕ್ಗಳಿದಾವೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಶ್ರೀನಗರ್ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ. ಶ್ರೀನಗರ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ summer capital of Kashmir. In Kashmir Valley, there are two important lakes. First one yadu Ular anta. Already ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar, Jammu Kashmir Valley near Srinagar. So there are near Srinagar, there are two lakes, very important. First one is ille innond lake ide, Dal Lake anta. Innond idu Ular Lake. I think ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಎರಡು ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಸೋ ಲೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಾ? ಪಾಂಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಸೋ ಲೇಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯೂ ಡೇಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೋಕಾರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಸೋ ಮೋರಿರಿ ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. 3 ಲೇಕ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅವತ್ತು ಪಾಂಗ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಸೋ, ಸೋಕಾರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಮೋರಿರಿ, ರೈಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ರಿವರ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ, 2 ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್, another one is Dal Lake, ರೈಟ್. ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೆಡ್ ಬೈ ವಿಚ್ ರಿವರ್ ಅಂತ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು UPSC ಅಲ್ಲಿ. 2023 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೆಡ್ ಬೈ ವಿಚ್ ರಿವರ್ ಹೇಳಿ? ಜೇಲಂ ರಿವರ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇಂದ. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Are you guys following me? Ular Lake is fed by which river? Jhelum River. Okay. And Dal Lake is also fed by Jhelum River. But Dal Lake is a Oxbow Lake. Dal Lake idella innondu, that's a Oxbow Lake. But Ular Lake ಹೆಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, Ular Lake tectonic activity ಇಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. It is formed by tectonic activity, remember it. So tectonic activity in the form agide, but right now it is fed by Jhelum River. Okay, see Ular Lake ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ? ಇದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವೇ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ.
Ular Lake is the largest freshwater lake in India. Remember it. It is what? Largest freshwater lake in India. Tell me other lakes. India, the largest lake in India. If the India, the just largest lake of India ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? GK.
ಚಿಲಿಕಾ ಲೇಕ್ ಸರ್.
ವೆಂಬನಾಡ್ ಲೇಕ್. ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, ವೆಂಬನಾಡ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ವೆಂಬನಾಡ್ ಲೇಕ್, Kerala. As we are talking about lakes, so Vembanad Lake is in Kerala. This is the longest lake and longest lake in India. It just lake anta bandre ಯಾವುದೇ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲ, categories ಇಲ್ಲ. If largest
Sambar Lake ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದಲ್ಲ, so Sambar Salt Lake.
Sambar Lake is the Sambar Lake ಏನದು? Largest salt water lake ಅದು. Largest salt water lake or saline lake ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Largest salt water lake ಯಾವುದು? ಸಾಂಬಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಇದು? ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
Ular Lake, yeah.
Ular. That is largest freshwater lake. Largest freshwater lake in Asia ಯಾವುದು? Baikal.
Yeah.
Baikal, okay. I think second one is this Ular only after Baikal. Okay, because Ular is the second largest freshwater lake in Asia. Okay, Baikal ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ರಷ್ಯಾದಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ. This is largest freshwater lake in Asia. A few facts, like ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ. Ular is what we can say largest freshwater lake in India ಯಾವುದು? Largest freshwater lake in India is Ular.
Ular Lake.
Largest saltwater lake in India is Sambar Lake. It's in Rajasthan. Largest lake in India andre Vembanad. And Vembanad is also longest lake in India.
So cleanest lake ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಕಂಕಾರಿಯಾ ಲೇಕ್.
ಯಾವುದು?
Cleanest lake. ಕಂಕಾರಿಯಾ ಲೇಕ್.
Kankaria
It is
Lake.
the cleanest. Sir,
Yeah,
India's cleanest
that's in Gujarat.
lake.
Kankaria Lake.
Ahmedabad ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Ahmedabad.
Yeah, Gujarat. Yeah. Kankaria Lake.
Yeah, Ahmedabad. Yeah, ಕಂಕಾರಿಯಾ ಲೇಕ್.
It's also big lake, but I don't think it's longest or largest. What is that?
Cleanest lake ಅಂತ.
Cleanest lake.
Yeah.
Cleanest. Okay. Are you sure about this?
Yes, sir.
ನೋಡಿ, Kankaria Lake is the Ahmedabad. You can ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, again you can verify it. So Kankaria Lake, at least know that in Ahmedabad there is a lake called Kankaria Lake. Okay, and Chilika Lake is the largest brackish water lake, and it is, I think, second largest lake in India. Second largest lake in India, Chilika Lake in Odisha. Chilika Lake ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? Odisha. ನೋಡಿ, ವೆಂಬನಾಡ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಾಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೇರಳ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವಾಟರ್. Chilika is a lagoon. Okay.
Sir, and smallest lake, Sursagar Lake, sir. It's located in Gujarat. Sursagar Lake.
Dudhsagara.
Sur, S-U-R. Sursagar Lake.
Sursagar Lake.
This is smallest lake.
Okay.
Identify.
Yeah.
It's in Gujarat.
Yeah. Sursagar, Vadodara. Sursagar, it's famous. Is it the smallest?
It's the smallest lake.
Okay.
It's in Gujarat.
Okay, we can verify it. Write down smallest ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಯ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ದು. ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಉಲಾರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಏಷ್ಯಾ. ಅಂಡ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಯಾವುದು ಇನ್ ದ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್? ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಯಾರಾದ್ರು? Largest freshwater lake in the world. Largest freshwater lake in the world ಯಾವುದು?
Baikal ಏನಾ sir?
No, it's Lake Superior. Lake Superior ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? 5 ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
USA.
USA, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡಿ. like Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Michigan, and Erie. So there are 5 Great Lakes. Other Lake Superior is the largest. Baikal ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ Baikal is like deepest by volume ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ I think Baikal has highest more water, but this is Lake Superior is largest by surface area, largest by area, but volume ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ it's Baikal Lake in Russia is the largest by volume because it's very deep. ತುಂಬಾ deep ಇದೆ ಇದು. Baikal Lake, I think you can also say deepest lake in the world ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. Baikal Lake ತುಂಬಾ ಡೀಪ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ವಾಟರ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ Baikal Lake ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay. And there is one island in so we were discussing about Ular Lake, correct? Ular Lake. Where is Ular Lake? ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ರು ಇವಾಗ Ular Lake ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಇದೀರಾ? Jammu Kashmir. So there is one island within this lake called Jaina Link. Jaina Lank. So this is one small island within this island. Okay. So let me discuss one last topic. Yeah, I'm just let me tell you one more thing that recently, ಈ ವಾಯನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ವಾಯನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ? ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಏನಕ್ಕಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಏನಕ್ಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್?
ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೆವಿ ರೈನ್ಫಾಲ್.
ಹೆವಿ ರೈನ್ಫಾಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹೆವಿ ರೈನ್ಫಾಲ್. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇರೋಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಲೈಕ್ ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ that had triggered the entire landslide, right? So ಇದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ದನ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಕ್ಸ್. ಅದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಹೇಳಿ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್? ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಡಿಸಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅರ್ಲಿ ವಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್, ಇದು ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಟ್ರಿಗರಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ that was there for many days and that eventually led to the big landslide. So what we are doing is we are installing one X-band radar there, so which will track the movement of all these particles, including the rainfall, the fog conditions, and any sort of movement. On the radar it will track all the small movements. So ಆ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? So that's why we are installing this radar in where in Wayanad district of this radar is called X-band radar. So radar means which waves they use? ಯಾವ waves use ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Radio waves, correct? They use radio waves. One radar ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು? It detects the distance, velocity, and all the characters of the objects. Like here, the object ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು? All the raindrops. Okay, it can anything. It can be movement of raindrops, or it can be movement of soil movement ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ. ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಈ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇವೆನ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಟು ದ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೈನ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ರು ಸಹಿತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ರಡಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಅ ರಡಾರ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಕಳಿಸಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ನೋಡಿ ರಡಾರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
It is a type of electromagnetic energy, no, sir?
Huh?
The type of electromagnetic energy. Radar.
Yes. ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್. ರಡಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ರಡಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ranging something. R under ranging. So it's using radio waves. We are ranging means we are identifying the movement of that particle. ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್, ಅದರ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡಿ, ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಈ ರಡಾರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್, ವಾಪಸ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಸೀವರ್ ಎರಡೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಸೀವರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಡೇಟಾನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ or it is in rest position. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ರೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರಡಾರ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ವಾಯನಾಡಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಆ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಅದು ಟ್ರಿಗರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಮಾನಿಟರ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ರೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ radar. So one more thing is that they are using X-band radar which is emitting radiations and ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಇದು ಯಾವ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, it is using 8 to 12 gigahertz. So that is high frequency. High frequency, that means wavelength is less. High frequency, correct? Frequency ಯಾವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೋ wavelength ಅವಾಗ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Correct? You know that they are inversely proportional. Wavelength is about just 2 to 4 centimeter. 2 to 4 centimeter wavelength. ನೋಡಿ, ಕಡಿಮೆ wavelength ಇದ್ದಾಗ, when frequency is high and wavelength is less, energy ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It can track minute, smallest changes also it can track. Smallest movements are also movements can be tracked. When the frequency is high, that means wavelength is less, smaller movements can also be detected. But disorder range kadme irutte, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, right? But as this is installed only for that particular region of Wayanad, it is possible. Okay, that's why they're installing this radar which has high frequency or low wavelength, so that they will get high images of higher resolution. This is possible only when the wavelength is short. Wavelength short idag matra namge higher resolution images siktave. Understanding this?
Sir, radio waves higher wavelength ಮತ್ತೆ low frequency ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yeah. They have high wavelength. Yeah, but within radio waves there is again a different range. Right. Within radio waves there are radio waves and there is not a single range alva. Frequency also varies. Okay, if you take other ranges, it's ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್ ಈ ರಡಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 to 4 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಇರುವಂತ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಅದರ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್, ಅದರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ಸ್, they are not possible even at this extent. ಅದು ಇನ್ನು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಲೋ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ, ಹೈ ಫ್ರೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಲೋ ವೇವ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, and also they are using one more thing called radar ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ? radar full form is radio detection and ranging. Radar full form is radio detection and ranging. These are the devices which use radio waves which are transmitted by a transmitter, and the same radar has a receiver also. It receives the radiations and it will analyze the data to determine this object. ಈ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ವೆದರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ IMD ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಡಾಪ್ಲರ್ ರಡಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡಾಪ್ಲರ್ ರಡಾರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ವಿಂಡ್ಸ್ ಮೋಡಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದಾವೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ರೈಟ್, ವಿಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು, ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಾಪ್ಲರ್ ರಡಾರ್. Doppler radar means they use Doppler effect, not sound waves. Don't think like Doppler and sound waves and ankobadi. They use the similar technology but using radio waves. Okay, it's like change in frequency of of these radio waves, and they detect the movement and track the motion of the clouds. The cloud motion na detect madake they use Doppler radar. Have you understood this, all of you? So tell me, what are the topics that you have discussed today? First topic that you have understood today is ಹೇಳಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಏನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ?
Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, some Japanese organization, right, for their work towards nuclear disarmament. Okay, next.
Rare disease.
Rare diseases ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? And recent Delhi High Court judgment where it wants to set up one fund, National Rare Disease Fund, with CSR contributions to it. And we also discuss CSR as part of that, correct? Next.
Haber-Bosch process.
Haber-Bosch process ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇದನ್ನ?
Synthesis of ammonia.
Ammonia in the presence of iron catalyst, correct? Next.
Ular Lake.
Ular Lake and other lakes. Ular Lake is the result of tectonic activity. Remember it. But it is fed by which river? Jhelum River. Next. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ ರೆಸ್ಟ್?
Vijayanagar
Expand radar. Okay, being installed in Vijayanagar. Hope all of you have understood these topics, correct? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
Yes, sir. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow.